our Reddit story creator, the shadow that watched me sleep. So, this happened a couple of years ago, and it still freaks me out every time I think about it. I was living in this old house at the time, a rental, but it was one of those places where everything creaked and groaned. The kind of house you feel like has history, and not always the good kind. Anyway, I had this bedroom at the back of the house, right next to a window that looked out into the backyard. The place was pretty quiet, except for one night. I went to bed like normal, around midnight, and I was lying there trying to fall asleep. I've always had a thing about feeling watched when I sleep, so I kept tossing and turning, trying to ignore that feeling. At some point, I just closed my eyes and forced myself to sleep. Here's where it gets weird. I woke up in the middle of the night because something was off. The air was cold, and I could feel the hairs on my neck standing up. I opened my eyes, but it was pitch black in the room. All I could hear was the sound of my own breathing. And then I saw it. There was a shadow standing at the foot of my bed. It wasn't clear, more like a silhouette of a person, but tall, way taller than me. I couldn't make out any features, but I could feel it. The presence felt so wrong, like it wasn't supposed to be there. I froze, couldn't move, couldn't scream. My heart was pounding, and I kept thinking, it's just my imagination. It's just a trick of the light. But the feeling was so real. The shadow just stood there, unmoving. And then it moved. It didn't walk or shift like a person would. It just sort of glided across the room, toward the window. I could hear it, too. Faint whispers, like something talking under its breath. But it wasn't in a language I could understand. The moment it passed the window, I snapped out of my trance, and I bolted upright. I turned on every light in the room, but by then, the shadow was gone. I checked the window, locked it, checked every corner of the room. Nothing. But I couldn't shake the feeling. I didn't sleep a wink after that. The next day, I moved to the living room couch for the next few weeks. I'm telling you, I could never explain what happened that night. But I've never been able to look at that room the same way again. I moved out shortly after, and I've never stepped foot in that house again. And to this day, I still wonder what the hell that thing was.